The following is a presentation of the Missouri Sports Network.
Hey there, sports fans. Hey, this guy Newcomb alongside Kent Mueller. It's time for Missouri Milestones, a podcast here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. 3 weeks out of Christmas, and the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here for the holidays. Certainly glad everyone's tuned in. Hey, do us a favor. Tell your friends, tell your family. It's holiday season. Hey, if you like listening to it, they're going to like listening to it. I promise you. Go to Missouri Sports Network on YouTube and subscribe. Go to our Facebook page and give us a like. It's Missouri Milestones, the podcast here, December 4th, 2025. Kent Mueller, take it away.
Well, Guy, we started Missouri Milestones with 1,000-point career scoring lists for both boys and girls. We now have over 1,500 boys and over 1,300 girls, and it won't be long before we have combined lists totaling more than 3,000 Missouri basketball athletes. Those lists will only continue to grow as we dig out more of Missouri high school history, and also as we record and recognize those who will cross that threshold each season going forward. Due to the strong response for the basketball career list, we have expanded to include 3 stats for football and 5 stats for volleyball, and that's for both boys and girls volleyball. The popularity of these lists has naturally led to our podcast presentation of Missouri Milestones. In each episode, we sit down with one of these standout athletes to hear their story straight from the source, the work, the mindset, and the moments that make it happen. If you are a coach, an AD, an athlete, or a proud sports parent, this is the podcast that is made for you. The easiest way to see the list that as they get updated is to follow us on X. Follow Guy Newcomb at Scoreboard Guy and follow me, Kent Mueller, at Plain_sports. By following us, you will get updated lists as they become available. Now that you are following us on X and you know how to contact us, let's get to the Missouri Milestones interview of the week. The last few weeks, we have heard from both athletes from past years and athletes currently in high school just after they have crossed career milestones for their entry into Missouri Milestones. This week, we have Tim Smith. Tim is the athletic director and the boys basketball head coach at Sweet Springs High School. Tim is coaching at his alma mater as he is a Sweet Springs graduate in the class of 1991. And by the time he graduated, he had scored 1,523 points for the Greyhounds. You don't want to miss what Tim has to say about those high school days and the years coming forward to 2025 as the Sweet Springs coach. Missouri Milestones, the podcast, because history isn't just written, it's earned.
Any given Saturday. And a little work. And a little play.
Hey, little help?
And a truck that says no to nothing.
Hi, Dad. Can we give them a ride?
Yeah.
The Silverado Trail Boss and Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Leaders know there's no guide to greatness. When everyone else says something can't be done, they know it only hasn't been done. Yet. True leaders weather the fiercest storms and look deep within themselves to rise above and help others find their way forward. At Great Southern Bank, we're proud to partner with visionaries that help raise the tide for all of us. And when you're ready to bring your vision to life, we'll be right behind you with award-winning support.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Hey, welcome back to Missouri Milestones, the podcast here on the Missouri Sports Network. Certainly glad that you have tuned in, and we welcome into the show 1991 Sweet Springs High School graduate and current athletic director and head boys basketball coach, Tim Smith. Coach Smith, thanks for your time today.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
Coach Smith, a member of the Missouri Milestones. Coach, tell us a little bit about, take us back to that late 80s, early 90s, and what your remembrances are of those teams that you got to play on.
Very exciting to play for Sweet Springs and under head coach Mike Severa, who went on and did really good things at Brookfield, took the Brookfield girls to the Final Four in '93. But he brought a system here that was kind of unorthodox back then. It was that Loyola Marymount break that he brought in, that Hank Gathers and Bo Kimball played in, and back then that just was unheard of. And so I think the town and the surrounding towns probably thought, what in the world are we doing here? And but it was a fun system to play in. It was up and down and shoot a lot of threes and basically try to get a shot off within 8 to 10 seconds on the offensive side, and we're pressing all over the place for 32 minutes. And it was we had some high scoring games, and it was not only fun to play in, but I think the crowds really enjoyed watching us play as well.
Yeah, you talk about that, and I graduated '88, so I was in front of you, and the 3-point line came in my sophomore year in high school, 1986, and Skip Brock came in 1988, my senior year, and we ran Loyola Marymount, and I got to run that 5 spot, so I got to the free throw line as quick as I could because I would get an open shot.
That's same as me. I was the 5 spot as well, and that was that get that shot as quickly as possible. It did make you sprint, but I tell you what, it was a lot of kids don't want to put out that effort getting up and down the floor. But if you knew that you were going to get that shot, be able to take that shot at the other end, that made you a little more motivation of getting down the floor.
What memories stand out? You scored 1,523 points. Did the 1,000 point? Do you remember that night? Do you remember the 1,500 point night?
I don't remember the 1,500. We didn't really celebrate that too much. I ended up with 1,523, so that was in my final game. I scored 40 in a district game against Malta Bend, a very good Malta Bend team that had earlier the year before had gone to the Final Four. But so they didn't really celebrate that because it was a district game that we happened to be hosting during that time. But we were playing St. Paul when I broke our school scoring record back then, and that was kind of a nice event because they stopped the game, gave me the game ball, and also some flowers and some other things, and recognized me. So that was pretty cool on that end of it. But once we got to that district game, it was all about winning games, and it didn't matter about the points at that point. And I didn't even realize I crossed the 1,500 point plateau until afterwards, but. It was like I said, I would never have gotten to that point if it wasn't for the coach and the system he put in at that time.
Do you recall whose record you broke?
Yeah, it was Randy Lubert at the time. He ended up being a principal at Waynesville down there. He went on and played a really good football player. He played at UCM as a nose tackle, and he actually played behind Jeff Wright, who played for the Buffalo Bills at that time. And then he went on and was a principal at Warsaw as well, and has done some things down south. And he had a daughter just a couple of years ago that led the Marshfield girls to the Final Four a year or two ago. So he has ties to that southern part down there. But he's a Sweet Springs boy, and that's whose record I broke. So I was pretty proud of that.
Does the record still stand?
It does not. No, I've coached many kids since then that have made me look bad on that, and so they've smoked that record. I couldn't even tell you where I'm sitting right now on that, which is a good thing though too, because as a coach, it makes you feel good.
As you look back at your high school career, are there games that you'd like to go back and play again? Maybe a game that got away from you, or maybe when you set the school record.
Yeah, absolutely. There's one in particular. We played a Wellington team in 1991, and it was basically for the if we'd have won it, we had had a 3-way tie for the conference championship. Went up to Wellington. They had a kid named Lyle Beckemeyer that was a really good athlete, went on later to pitch at the University of Arkansas. Went up there and we lost in double overtime, 98-96. They had a shot at the buzzer on us to beat us. Ended up with 46 points and 10 3-pointers that night. But that one hurt because, we wanted that conference title, and losing it at the buzzer in double overtime was a tough pill to swallow. But, that was the type of team, though, that was really solid. They ended up, I think, tying with Concordia for the conference title, and they ended up going to the Final Four later that year, finishing fourth down there down in Springfield at Missouri State.
Again, we're visiting with the Missouri Milestones member, Tim Smith, of 1991 graduate of Sweet Springs High School and the current athletic director and head coach at Sweet Springs, Guy Newcomb alongside Kent Mueller. And I know Kent's got some questions for you as well.
Yeah, Tim, I've been around a little bit longer than you. I've seen a lot of changes, and I know you've seen a lot of changes from a player to now a coach, an athletic director. From your perspective, I'd like to hear your thoughts on what has changed, how it's changed, hopefully for the good, and basketball or other sports also, and in the areas of how practices are conducted, how games are conducted, training, working out, nutrition, those types of things. What changes have occurred since the early 90s?
Well, what I've seen is back in the day, back when I played, it was, you played basketball during basketball season, you played baseball during baseball season, you played football during football season. And the summer, we didn't have a lot of activities going on. You may have a 1-week camp or a 2-week camp of something, but if you wanted to get better, it's basically on your own. You may have some open gyms and this and that, but I think the ability to be able to, the school is pretty much open 365 days anymore, it seems like, and you're able to come in with weightliftings and your own camps, football camps and basketball camps. It's pretty much turned into a 12-month deal, and I think that's why MSHSAA has instituted the dead week policy, because of all the stuff that these kids are involved in, and so they get the 20 mandatory days, or not. You get 20 days, I guess, in the off season, and then you, even before your season comes up during the school year, you get another couple weeks that you can work with your kids as well. So it's kind of turned into basically kind of a full-time college type job, as opposed to just a seasonal sport at the time. So, and I see a lot more kids going more, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but I see them being more picking a sport and playing that, like they want to play travel baseball, or they want to focus on football, or they want to play AAU basketball. And, all those, they have all that stuff, out there for them to do that year round pretty much now. And, even though, back in the day we used to and we still got them, you got kids that play 3-4 sports, but I think more specialized kids are becoming more specialized nowadays because of that. And you talk about nutrition and this and that, the training facilities that some of these kids can go to and prepare, and their parents pay out the money to do it. And they're working 2 or 3 days a week on top of practicing every day or playing during the season. It's like I said, all the resources are out there for these kids to succeed. It's just a matter of, finding the time and making sure they're not getting burned out doing that.
Yeah, I go back to an era where I have to say that probably not for the good, but our training table was nutrition was like a double cheeseburger and fries at Ricky's.
Yeah. Yes. That's pretty much what my coach's training table is now, seems like. So, yeah, that's I understand totally what you're saying.
And if we're really hungry, Mom would fix a second steak the night before a game.
That's exactly right. Yeah, exactly right.
The steak the night before a game was a big thing. So
yes. When I played in Missouri Valley, we always had the pasta before the games. Always had the spaghetti and whatever before the game.
Right.
Coach, take us into those Missouri Valley days. What led to that decision? Was it close to home? Was there a connection? What and what was that college experience like?
It was close to home. It's about 20 miles northeast of here, and good school. And they just got Tom Pfeiffer from Kemper Junior College there to coach them, and he'd been there. I think he stopped coaching after about 10 years or so and became their athletic director. Had a lot of success over there. And my the current head coach I had in high school knew him pretty well and thought I would fit in over there pretty well. And so it was a lot of fun. You know, kids don't realize that you go over there and, you know, it doesn't matter what you've succeeded with in high school. It's you know, they don't care at the college level. You're starting over and you're walking in there and, you know, you're thinking you're one of 12 to 15 kids, and you're not. You're one of 40 to 50 kids in an NAIA school. And so I really had to work. I was one of 2 kids to make it through past my sophomore year and onto the varsity junior and senior year. And so it was something I was pretty proud of as well. But it is a job. It is a full-time job. You're always working out in the fall, and during the season, you're maybe one day off, but you're always traveling, you're always practicing, and even in the spring, and then you're starting to do spring workouts. So kids don't understand that when you head off to an NAIA school, and NAIA is really good basketball, it's really good football, it's really good sports in general. But when you head off over there, it's a full-time job, and to be able to be successful, you have to really love the sport and be dedicated to it, and have a, you know, and that's the thing. When I played, I was a freshman. I played on the freshman team, sophomore played on the JV team, and we played some really good competition back then. We played junior colleges, you know, that would eventually feature Division I, Division II guys. So very good competition. A lot of guys you could follow later on in your career, see them on TV the next couple of years playing at different Division I schools. And so just the speed of the game and the physicality of the game was a lot different at that level. But, you know, glad I did it. I got to see how the other half lives on that.
Again, visiting with Tim Smith, athletic director and boys basketball coach at Sweet Springs High School and member of the Missouri Milestones. Coach, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you a little bit about your team. First off, how long have you been the head coach there at Sweet Springs? Did you go right from college into that position, or kind of take us through that path?
I did. I came from Missouri Valley, came back home. They had an opening here, and I started coaching the girls and the boys together for 4 years. And I ended up staying with the boys the whole time, left the girls for a little while, and came back and coached them when they had an opening for a few years. We won the district title in 2015, beating Harrisburg at Salisbury, and then before we lost to Tipton and Jeff City in the sectional. But I've been head boys coach. This is my 28th year. We have everybody back this year. We kind of banged up a little bit from the football season. We're hoping to get everybody back from at Christmas break, but we're excited because, you know, we had no seniors on the team last year. We're very junior laden this year, and we got a couple good seniors on our team as well. And so we're excited to get everybody back and healthy and see what this year holds.
Very good. Well, Coach, when do you guys open up? I know you're well into practice at this point. You've been practicing here for just over a month, but where do you open up, and tell us a little bit about your schedule?
I'm the athletic director also. I kind of like the schedule a little bit tough. I like playing the bigger schools. And so we opened with Marshall, and they beat us in the first game here. They're a very athletic team, very good team. And then we've also played Pilot Grove at their place, and we played Warsaw. They got us by 9 the other day, right for there on Tuesday before Christmas break. So we played 2 Class 4 schools and a very good Class 1 school on their floor. And we turn around and we play Northwest of Hughesville tomorrow. So like I said, we'll play anyone from Class 1 to Class 4. We're trying to get healthy, and once we do, I think we got a shot at having a really good season this year. We're pretty excited over here. And then even next year, we got a lot coming back. Next year will be my final year, but we got a lot coming back, so we're excited for these next couple of years, especially me with the kids we got. Really good kids and really good group to work with.
Now, in that district, you're Class 2, District 14. You get to see those teams. I believe Concordia, maybe Crestridge, Midway, Santa Fe. Is St. Paul Lutheran in that as well?
St. Paul Lutheran is in that one. I would say they're the favorite right now to be in that. They got a lot coming back from last year. They lost to Lincoln in a sectional game last year, and Lincoln went on to the Final Four. And so that's kind of a loaded region right there with our district, with, you know, St. Paul and Concordia, like you said, Midway, Lutheran, Santa Fe, Crestridge. But Lincoln's sitting on the other side of there too. So Lincoln's got a very tough district as well. So there's some really good teams in there, and I really feel whoever makes it out of that little region there, that little sectional game, has a good shot at doing some damage at the Final Four there in Columbia.
Very good. Very good. Kent, you got anything else here before we wrap it up?
Well, I think that's it. I always like hearing about the changes because I remember being on the court and then watching games since, and there's been so many changes. Things continue to change, and so we have to keep up with that.
Yeah, like Guy said, that 3-point line coming in there in the 80s, that was a game changer too, because that kind of adjusted every coach's thinking. Everybody used to develop everything inside, and nobody knew what the range was of 2-pointers. Why are we taking deep 2-pointers when they all count the same? And that 3-point line came in, that pretty much changed everything. And now we're looking at maybe adding a shot clock too. So it's definitely evolving.
Very good. Well, Coach, greatly appreciate your time. I know I loused this up. We recorded it earlier, and I lost it, but won't be lost today. Today is December the 4th, 2025. And Coach, congratulations and welcome to the club here at the Missouri Milestones. And there are no secret handshakes. There's no membership dues. No secret knocks on the door. You've made it by virtue of what you've already accomplished. But Coach, I appreciate your time greatly.
I appreciate both of you guys. I really appreciate you having me, and it means a lot. Thank you so much.
You're watching Missouri Milestones, the podcast here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow.